Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we hear from one Eastern Kentucky family who's thankful to be alive after escaping their burning home. And more on why widespread flooding in the Midwest could be putting some sources of drinking water in jeopardy. Plus, how students and staff at one school system are collecting a needed item for a facility that helps cancer patients.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. I'm Taylor Upchurch. Today is Thursday, March 28th. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, it didn't feel quite as chilly as it did yesterday.
It's a little bit warmer in some spots this morning. It's that Ridge Valley split again today. We are seeing some warmer temperatures on top of those ridges and in the valleys. Still mid to upper 30s, so not too bad. Let's take a look at the cameras this morning. We head out at 5 o'clock here, UVA-wise. Good morning. Beautiful sky there. Not a whole lot of cloud cover across that part of the region, but there are a few clouds drifting across other parts of the region down toward Lake Cumberland, I-75, but thin clouds, not a major issue for us this morning. Temperatures, as you said, between 35 in Monticello to 49 there in Prestonsburg. Again, it's colder in those valleys and warmer on those ridges. A normal day for the most part on the coffee meter. Maybe just a little bit of patchy frost this morning, so maybe just a little quick scrape as you get out the door. I don't think you'll have any major issues, though, and warm those cars up. The rest of the forecast on the way here in just a few minutes. Taylor?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Incredible loss. That's what a family of 5 in Harlan County is dealing with this morning after a fire took all their belongings from them earlier this week. But as WYMT's Connor James reports, all 5 are alive and safe, so it could have been much worse.
We never become numb to destruction and loss.
You know, you take the worst day times 10.
A fire yesterday tearing through a family of 5's home.
It's a bad day for us because there's not much we can do, and it's a very bad day for the family.
Cumberland Fire Chief Ed Bush and others couldn't stop the blaze.
No one got injured in the fire, which was the best news ever, but you know, they still lost everything they owned.
Now, the family of 5 living here lost absolutely everything in the fire. New ATVs, a boat, not to mention everything that's gone in their house. But they just tell me they're thankful they made it out of here alive.
Yeah, yeah, that's the main thing.
Luann Johnson is the homeowner's sister.
Yes.
The smoke still filling the air. The family still figuring out what's next.
We've never been through a total loss like this. Devastation, I didn't know, that until you're in it, you don't realize what a real total loss is.
But even though the blaze robbed them of memories, family heirlooms,
pictures, just things that they can't replace, but then they've got 5 people made it out.
The blaze did not take them from each other.
Yes.
In Harlan County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
The Red Cross was called in to help, and family members tell us a GoFundMe page has also been set up. Meanwhile, a truck driver is dead after his truck exploded on an Arkansas highway. Officials near Little Rock say the blast caused a giant crater in the ground where it happened, damaged nearby homes, and led to a fire that burned trees and grass. Police say the tanker was hauling ammonium nitrate, which is extremely dangerous and highly flammable. No word on the identity of the victim. Meanwhile, flooding is threatening the safety of more than 1 million private water wells in the Midwest. The area saw record flooding this year due in part to heavy rain and late snowfall. Now there's concern high waters could have contaminated wells with bacteria and waste from treatment plants, septic tanks, and farms. Experts warn Midwesterners to look out for changes in the color and smell of their water. The U.S. Air Force says it needs nearly $5 billion to rebuild 2 bases damaged by hurricanes and floods. The military branch reports Hurricane Michael badly damaged Tyndall Air Force east of Panama City last year. And this month, the Offutt Air Force Base just south of Omaha flooded. Without the additional funding, officials warned they will have to delay dozens of repairs. In other news, Whitley County schools are collecting water bottles to support family members of staff and students undergoing cancer treatments. Whitley Central primary teacher Stacy Prakash says she asked the school system to collect water bottles after seeing the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge in Lexington in need of them. Prakash says her husband stayed at Hope Lodge while undergoing treatment before his death 2 years ago.
I think he looks down on us and sees that we're doing a good thing in his honor, and I think he would have been proud.
The drive will continue in the Whitley County schools through Friday. And the University of the Cumberlands purchased 4 new pieces of equipment for their physician assistant students. They include 2 new interactive digital mannequins, a digitally interactive board that removes the need for cadavers, and a new ultrasound machine teaching students how to avoid invasive treatment unless necessary.
Is the beginning of the future of people in this community, people in Kentucky, and even patients across Kentucky that will be able to see what our students are able to do now.
The equipment was purchased with more than $136,000 in donations. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. Coming up, one donut chain is getting ready to launch something that lovers of an Eastern candy will think is April Fool's joke.
There's no fooling anyone today with the nice weather we're going to see once again, and some spots will climb well into the 70s, at least potentially anyway. I'll have that great forecast in about 3 minutes.